So I was thinking about today's topic while I was doing laundry.
Yeah.
And I was like, can laundry count as a workout? Because I was doing so many squats when I was lifting the clothes and like bending it and putting it into the dryer and like taking it out of the wash and putting it. And I'm like, this has to be a workout.
Is it on the Apple Watch?
Well, I already told you about this. So like, yes. So I actually looked up just now, well, before we started recording, can that be counted? It can't, but cleaning can be counted as a workout on Apple Watch. So fun fact for all of you out there, if you want to close your rings on your Apple Watch, you can actually put cleaning as a workout. So there's that fun fact for you. Yeah, I was thinking about that and I'm like, man, that is just so funny. And I love that as I was thinking about today's topic. So yeah, Jack, what are we talking about today?
My goodness. So, today we're talking about routines and how important it is to have them, how they've really affected our marriage as a whole. And honestly, it's been really nice having a routine because, gosh, after getting married, it's like we were a brand new organism, a new baby, and we needed to figure out, it felt like we had to figure out everything all over again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because goodness, we needed it because we needed to have a system of some sort. Otherwise, I felt like we were both going to go crazy. Right? So what do you think, honestly?
Yeah. We were both like, okay, we have these two different lives. How do we put them together as one? And how do we do life? How do we adult? It's already a lot like as an adult to like learn how to adult.
Adulting, as some say.
Yeah. Also, have we introduced ourselves?
No, we haven't introduced ourselves. We're shooting from the hip, but good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. My name's Jack, and I'm joined by my lovely wife, Kristianna.
Hello.
And we've done about 6 of these so far. And as you can tell, we're still figuring it out. This is our First Steps podcast. And today we are talking about routines.
Woo-hoo.
And we really needed a routine and we really needed a system. We even have one for this podcast, but clearly we're still growing in it.
Yeah. Which is okay.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to have it all figured out, right? Like
No.
that's not the purpose of it. But
None whatsoever.
yeah.
But going back to what we were saying, so when it came to trying to figure out our marriage routine, we really struggled at first. I would say we really didn't even have it figured out until, gosh, I almost want to say 6 or 7 months into being married.
Yeah.
When we had moved, and goodness, it was rough because we just operated differently as people. For me, I am such a night owl. Always been a night owl. My family operates like night owls. It wasn't uncommon to like eat dinner at like 8 p.m. And some of you are saying that's a normal time to eat dinner. And then some of you are going, I am in my PJs with my tea and ready to like lie down for the night at 8 p.m. And meanwhile, that's the appetizer for my family. So I just had a habit of doing all the critical things of life at night. And Kristianna, you are not like that.
Yeah, I'm the complete opposite. When they say opposites attract,
oh gosh,
we do live up to that.
Absolutely.
In
Key
some
point.
ways,
this is Coke.
Yes,
that is not.
It's decaf coffee. Actually, fun fact: decaf coffee. So yeah, we both just had very different ways in which we did life in general, and when you're under one roof, that can be really
hiding.
challenging. That can be really hard. And yeah, I was definitely more of a, like, I am in my PJs before 9 p.m. After 9 p.m., phones on do not disturb. And I am winding down, having my tea. Although I have stopped having tea, side note, because then I have to get up in the middle of the night constantly. So I'm not having my tea anymore. It's kind of sad. I'm having my tea in the day, in the afternoon. But no one probably cares about that. So as we were trying to create these systems, we both have like business backgrounds, and Jack is, fun fact, like project management is part of what he does for his job. And I used to be in the project management world. And we're like, okay, if it works for a business, why can't we make it work for a household? And not to be like all businessy. We're not like, this is not a business meeting.
People. This is a business hat.
But yeah, we just figured, if the systems are working, if batch work works in business, why not apply it to our team? Because we are a team, we're a partnership. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things that can happen with this is, you still want to keep it fun. You're married after all. But if we take a step back and go, if making a budget is a great way to free up money and assign every dollar a name, so that you can, spend freely, give freely, and in our case, pay off some debt, then certainly you can do the same thing with time, right?
And time is money, money's time. Right?
Something like that. But we have kind of gone through the rigmarole of trying to figure out what our week looks like. And we're not saying this is the right thing for everybody, but this has been really good for us because it gives us each time to focus on what's important to us as individuals. It gives us time to focus on our Jesus, and it gives us time to focus on each other as well. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, rest and still have capacity for other people to the best of our ability, especially as things change. And you know what? This will probably change when we move on to another season of life too, when we have children, and that will be our first step then too. So that's the name of the podcast. But my love, do you want to kick it off with like what a typical week for us looks like?
Yeah. So obviously it may not work for you or it may work for you. And it's going to change. And so honestly, this is probably going to change probably in like the next couple months, depending on like what you add in and what you take out of your life. But we did know that there were some not hardcore, but there were some standard things that people just need to do in general. Like you need to go grocery shopping to eat. You need to do your laundry to have new clothes. Some people will not do that. They'll just buy new clothes. So
this is a reminder to clean your bed sheets, by the way. If you have not cleaned your bed sheets, this is a reminder to go clean your sheets.
Did we hear that somewhere? That sounds familiar. So like obviously these are things that I think can apply to everybody. But for us, in what we've been doing for the last 6 months is on Mondays, it's typically been our free day. We've talked about a re-engage series that we've done in the past couple sessions or episodes. And for a season that took up our Monday nights, but now that that's over, it's been our free night. And then Tuesdays, we've been working on the podcast
day.
So it's more of like the admin time, working on the post-production of it all.
So more than you would think. It's not like we just hit record and then upload it to YouTube or Spotify. It is we ideate, we talk about the outline. It's kind of evolved into a nice little side project for us, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good way to connect. It's like, it's not really a date night, but it kind of feels like a date sometimes.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a great way to start off the week.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a date, sometimes it's counseling, but
oh my goodness. Okay. And so then after Tuesdays, what do we do on Wednesdays?
So Wednesdays, this is my domain. We go grocery shopping, and we are firm believers in the executive membership of Costco. The thing is awesome, and we get so much stuff at Costco. I'm a Kirkland guy.
You're literally wearing a Kirkland sweater, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Realized that. This is from Costco, everybody.
Yeah, pretty much like hot dog, chicken bacon, a slice of pizza.
Yeah, and we divide and conquer.
We do. So typically what we found is like protein is one of the most expensive things in the grocery bill. So we'll buy the protein in bulk, typically from Costco, and some other key staples like household, trash bags, stuff like that. And then we'll get smaller things maybe at Harris Teeter, but we'll give some stuff to me, give some stuff to Kristianna. We can have an episode on like how we even divide that stuff up, because Kristianna, so smart. She puts everything in Amazon lists, and that has been a game changer for
they're great.
Keeping things organized. So after Wednesdays, right, we will move to Thursday and do our laundry. So just trying to do things like once a week. The idea with this is just like you just have one day a week where you do that thing. It creates a nice little routine, keeps it simple. If you know, miss it, you can move it around depending on the week. Because sometimes like, gosh, what's a good example recently? One, I think it was, or it's actually going to happen this week. We have a driver's license appointment coming up on Wednesday. It's going to kind of throw our Wednesday out of whack. So we're just going to move around the days of the week to still make sure we fulfill the responsibility of that day. So Thursdays, we do our laundry. Friday is actually our cleaning day. So that's when, you know, you'll see it on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook if you're over 50. And we'll just do our not so Sunday reset, I guess. We'll clean, mop, etc., dust. More of just like basic cleaning type of things. So, and then the weekend.
So I'll talk about the weekend. Before I get into the weekend and what we do, what you just heard was batching. That's what batching is at the end of the day. You pick a day of the week and you say, on this day we do this thing, and that's what we've done. And it's so great. Helpful. And so each week is going to look different for all of those things. So, but we know that day something's getting cleaned on Friday. We know that, and so things don't drop. The ball doesn't drop in any of those areas, and we don't run out of food. And so, we'll get into the impact later, but because I love talking about the impact of things, apparently.
The impact's so great.
Because it's like, why do this? You know, like why? And so find what's going to work best for you in your week and your schedule and in the day. So sometimes this happens after work, and sometimes we can do it
during the day
or during lunchtime. So, or like throughout the day. So with that, just know that you can kind of make it work depending on what you have. But for us, having a dedicated day for each of those adulting things has been really, really helpful, because on Friday, once we've cleaned, on a side note, it's also our rib day. We have ribs. Oh yeah. Ribs on Fridays.
A more fun version of this is like, you know, some families have pizza night. We have rib night. So every Friday I will smoke some ribs for Kristianna.
They're so good.
It is so much fun.
So
and I've been doing this for like, I feel like 3 or 4 months now. I'm getting really good at smoking ribs. So
good.
Oh my gosh. Eventually they will be a crowd pleaser, but right now it's a crowd of 2. So
it's a crowd of 2. Yeah. So then when we step into the weekend, we've have all of that stuff taken care of. And so on Saturdays, we have what's called Fam Jam. And we will get into that in the next episode. It's because that has
super powerful for us.
It needs its own thing, but high level, just so you guys can kind of like get an understanding, like, what are you even talking about? It's our family business meeting. So it's anything that is coming to mind that, you know, comes up throughout the week or the month, and we need to talk about it, whether it's travel plans, whether it's paying a certain bill, or talking about like, is there anything that's kind of outstanding? And like the driver's license, like we needed to talk about that. So we put it on Fam Jam.
Yep.
And then we run through that. So we'll dive into that later. But in the beginning, when we started in our marriage, we were having that every week, all of the time. And so now I say it's on our Saturdays. So it's typically like once a month and maybe twice a month if we need it. And then in the alternating, we do our finance chat. So that's where we just started using Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar, and it's been fantastic. And so we will do that. And then now also, it's not like we're these cogs in a machine. This is what we're doing every week. Like yesterday, we were supposed to have our finance chat, but it was so beautiful out. And we were just like, it was so cool. I was at home and you went on a walk, and we were both like,
I was actually praying, actually.
I'm glad you were praying. And I was having my quiet time. Yeah. So, and quiet time is just quote for my prayer time. And we both had this nudge to go hiking. And so it was really great. We got to do that. And so we kind of talked about finances on that hike, but we didn't actually like sit down and have our finance meeting. And that's okay. Like that's the purpose, is to not like constrict us. So
yeah. And could I add on to that real quick?
Sure.
The nice thing about having these rhythms and routines is in the beginning, they took a lot of thinking and effort. Like any one of these things took us and it sounds stupid, but it's not. It took us like 2 to 3 hours originally to figure some of these individual things out. But because we took the time up front and we've made them more systemized and routines, like a budget meeting literally took us, I think, 4 hours one day. Like in the beginning, this was like a month.
That was when we were merging our finances together.
Right.
And like getting everything linked up as one. Yeah.
Yes. So it was early on, not trying to skew, but like it still took a good 2 hours after that. But now they take, I don't know, they can take at most an hour. Honestly, I feel like this next one could take only 30 minutes. Like, what I'm trying to say is the more you do it, the simpler it gets. You build a joint understanding with one another. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Back to you, love.
That's
Sorry.
Back to you. What are you, a weatherman? Like yes. The news channel.
And at noon.
Back to you on this corner of the kitchen table. Coming to you live. So after Saturday, we end the week with Sunday. Although some people will say that they start on Sunday. And the reason why we are doing all of this is, again, not to become these robots that are just producing
cogs in a machine.
or even like a team at work, because we're not a business. We're this is a covenant, it's a marriage, but there are some components in the teamwork. And this leads up to Sunday where we Sabbath.
Yeah.
Now we don't do this all of the time. It is something that is it's something that I did a lot in my single season. And
I did not.
And so learning to kind of like blend the two of our lives together has been really sweet and special. But really, and for folks that may not know what that word means, it's in our faith, it's an opportunity to worship God and practice enough. What does enough look like to appreciate all that He's given us and to just praise and worship Him? And that can look like so many things. We won't get into that now, but essentially it's not doing anything that is work. It's to stop work, anything. And so adulting can be like work. And I feel like it's work a lot. So we just try not to do any of those things that we've done during the week on Sunday and to free up that day. And so that's why we felt like this was so important to share, because we know folks are just like, hey, I had my life as a single person and I had my life as a single person. How do we do this together? And it just takes some intentionality, and it really can make an impact. So do you want to talk? I know we've touched on the impact a little bit, but do you want to dive into that, honey?
Yeah. So one of the things that I feel, and maybe you can back me up on this, when you're, maybe you're dual income, maybe you're on one income right now, what have you. Now that there is this awesome routine that we have, if one of us is running behind on something, the other can pick it up. And that's been so great, because I actually feel like I have more free time now as a married person than when I was single, and there's pure logistics behind that. If not saying this happens often, but sometimes it does. The Bible even talks about it too. Like if I'm sick, Kristianna can carry the boat for a little bit. She can get the groceries. She can help out, and vice versa. And this is something we've really been practicing lately, is I'll tell Kristianna not to come grocery shopping with me so that she can sit on the couch and chill. It creates healthy separation and healthy down and alone time. And it really it frees up time. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. And we still have like a lot of growing to do there, because, well, we love each other and we like to spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
So,
but it's been great to divide and conquer. And so where you can, and we didn't get into this, but grocery shopping, Costco to me can be very stressful. So like also talking it out with your spouse of what is actually a chore that you don't mind doing, or something it maybe comes easier to you, or it doesn't bother you as much. And then say like, I'll pick that one up. And so for me, I enjoy doing laundry. It's fun. Fun's an exaggerated word.
And you get a workout, apparently.
You can also get one grocery shopping. But going to Costco, especially during like after work hours is really stressful for me because there's just like, it's just overstimulation. And I would much rather prefer to go to the grocery store in the morning if I can and like take my time and not be bombarded with people. And so where that doesn't bother Jack. So
No,
he's no problem going to Costco. And I'm like, okay, you
great.
go to Costco, I will do the laundry. Great.
Yeah, I like
Perfect.
I put my headphones in, I get myself a chicken bake or a slice of pizza, and I start out with that so I'm not hungry while we're shopping. Don't grocery shop while hungry.
Yeah, indeed.
And they'll just get after it. So it doesn't stimulate me to the extent that it stimulates you.
Yeah, so really divide and
What
conquer
about
with
you
your
though,
strengths.
love?
Yeah, the impact for me. Well, it's definitely been what I like. It offers more peace of mind, knowing that we're not going to run out of food in our fridge, and we can enjoy the weekend because we know we have a full like load of food to do whatever we want with, and to know that, okay, I have my clothes are clean, so I know what I don't have to be wondering what am I going to wear this weekend or something like that. But it allows for more peace of mind, knowing that things are taken care of, and we can kind of turn that switch off and we don't have to think about it, and we can think about other things. And it opens up the door to truly step into Sabbath with a restful heart and mindset. So then when you step back into the week, you've had that time to step in with a calmer mindset, with your heart fixed on what matters most. And that's why we're doing it. We're not doing it so that we can be these like amazing homeowners, or not homeowners, but like owners of our things. And so, yeah, that's mostly it's peace of mind for sure.
Right. And another part of this too is it shifts with the seasons, like the season will dictate the routine that you have sometimes. And it's important to grow and change with that season and adapt alongside it. Myself, I consider myself to be an optimizer, and Kristianna is a self-proclaimed maximizer. So while Kristianna will look at a given thing and say, okay, how can I bring this thing from good to great? How can I take this from 9 to 11? I look at this and I go, how can I achieve that 9 with as little effort as possible? And for me, one of the things I'm looking at with our routine is I'd like to take the 3 days that we're doing stuff, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday, because those are like the core things of running a house. You got to have food. You got to be clean. How can we take that from 3 days to 2 days, or ideally 1 day if possible? But and there's different ways we could explore that. But right now, we're just trying to stay above water in some ways with just those things. But it's been great to go into the weekend, clothes are clean, bed's made.
Yeah.
We know where our money's going. We know what we're going to do. And it just creates a lot more freedom for both of us, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So.
Freedom and peace of mind. And can I add stuff to the season part? So, and we're bringing this up in the Newlywed season because there are some jokes out there of like, okay, the small, disagreements that you can get into that can just start to grow and build. And typically it's over the silly, smallest things. These are the silly, smallest things that could probably build over time. And so why not get into the habit of getting this thing sorted out, figured out, and that way you can continue on and focus on the other things that really matter. And it's obviously going to change, and it is just you and I right now. Yeah. And so we do have the time to really make this thing work, and it's going to change, but that's okay, because if we have this as a foundation, then we can just go off of it. And when you make small tweaks moving forward, it's not as intense of it's not an overhaul. You're really, just making these small changes and that support the season that you're in life. So I find it to be very helpful in the way we've done it, but I'm also knowing that it's going to change, and then they'll also be okay if the laundry isn't done or if grocery shopping doesn't get taken care of. It's really saying, okay, knowing that these things are important, let's make them happen. And if they don't, then we adapt and we evolve. And that's something Jack has really been very helpful in helping me in that area. So
thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Adapting is not my strong suit. So that is yours, which is beautiful, which we're talking about strengths and values and things like that, which is probably going to be a topic we'll dive into later. But for today, we have now been saying, there's little sayings we say on this podcast that I'm like, I hear it all of the time now when we talk. And for today is one of them. So for today, is there anything else we want to talk about for this episode?
You're going to mess up and that's okay.
You said that last time.
Because
is everyone just messing up?
Well, no, because you need to hear it. You're going to mess up and it's okay. You guys are going to fight sometimes. That's also okay. The key is just to, forgive, make amends and reconcile and just.
Which that's in the last episode. So if you're just tuning into this, go watch the last one.
Yeah, but
or the one after before.
Look, if you're listening to this, it's probably because you're trying to do better for your marriage and for your spouse. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. You're going to mess up. That's okay. Keep trying. And this is us just trying our darndest. So I think that's pretty much it. And my love, you want to close this out?
Sure. Of course. I can close this out. So if you're still tuning in and you're still listening, thank you for being with us. And it truly is an honor and blessing that you would spend time with us and hear about our lives. And so if this is helpful for you, or if you think of any couple in your life or single person who's desiring marriage that they would benefit from this, please feel free to share it with them. That really would mean the world to us.
Yeah.
We really just want to help marriages thrive and flourish in all that they do, so that they can do all that God's called them to do. So that's really why we're here. And so thank you for sharing this time with us. And we look forward to having you for our next episode, which we are going to be talking about Fam Jam. So we do know we're going to be talking about that. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you then.